1, 2. All right. What is up, guys? My name is Brianna, and welcome to Life as We Known podcast. I'm bringing this podcast here to be authentically me and to just share my trials and tribulations through life, and hopefully to shed light for the next generation, for the girls, my plus size girls, my African American girls, my brown skin girls, and just women in general who are independent, who are striving, and who are literally depending on themselves. When I say no man, when I say no sugar daddy, when I say no OnlyFans, when I say work, doubles, side gigs that keep my clothes on, that's what I mean. No shade to anybody else, but keep the mic. I'm very extra. I like holding it. It's so cunty. And just a little detail on the setup right now. I bought this mirror at a flea market for $20, y'all. This mirror is so beautiful. But I came up with this idea to create my podcast in my room, in my safe space, and through this mirror, because since I've gotten this mirror, I talk to myself a lot through it, and I talk to myself a lot anyway. But this just feels right, and it's comfortable, it's beautiful lighting, it's a beautiful setup, and it's authentic. It's me and my space. I ain't trying to fake the funk or anything like that. And also, it's hard when you try to make everything perfect when it doesn't need to be. The best things come from the most authentic places. Peep the cut, y'all. I cut my hair this year. Alright. Disclaimer, I'm here to be me authentically. I do make mistakes and I learn from them. Yes, boundaries live here and respect is free. So, can we let them go together? Like I was saying, my name is Brianna. I come from a single mother household, and I'm going to say it to the death of me. Because a woman that's going to be independent, yeah. So I have all brothers. I am the only girl, and I am a middle child. But you know, the middle child is always the overachiever. Also the one that gets a lot of backlash and has the most difficult time growing up. If you get it, you get it. I just wanted to create this to make a safe space, mainly for women and mainly for myself. You know, growing over the years, having a parent who isn't fully healed and having parents who have their own trauma to deal with, it's hard to come into yourself. It's hard to know what is true and what isn't about yourself. And a lot of the times, I think social media has really, let's just nip that part. We're taking it back to when social media was just starting, and I didn't have MySpace. My older cousin had MySpace. Like, that was the type of vibe it was on. Like, I was outside playing. I couldn't go outside with friends unless my older brother came with me. Very protective energy. And I realize now that growing up with a parent that has been through their own thing, I understand now when like certain parents are, you can't go to this person's house because I don't know their father. You can't go to this person's house because I just don't know them people as, you know, and they may say who they think they are and might be a facade. So growing up, a lot of my time was spent with family. I didn't really go out to parties and, you know, sleepovers. It gave very much, we're all going out as a collective. And I loved it because growing up, let's give y'all a timestamp first of all. Growing up in, I want to say from 2003 to 2008, because I was born in 1999. So obviously 2003, I was 3 years old. From memories that I can remember to on up, and I'm still going to claim the 90s because I grew up with the 90s shows, period, and I was born in 99. You can't take that from me. Can't take that. I'm just hitting this mic. This is why it needs to be in my hand. Anyway, I grew up on Raven. What was that show, y'all? Y'all know. Team Nick. It was like the tribal shows, like they had to go through these mazes. Just know I had the best childhood ever. And even though social media wasn't around back then, I can tell you, I know the people that are going through a lot of insecurities or yada, a lot of young plus size girls. It's hard because even without social media, there was a lot of bullying. There was a lot of he say, she say, a lot of, people that had shit to say. And I know now within this day and age of social media, it's even worse for plus size girls because you have a body to look like. But I also might just say that it's a win-win in certain cases because I know a lot of men back then did bully me, but also boys are not men. And if you ever realized, even though girls are plus size, they're really typically cool with everybody because let's be for real, these little boys don't know what I got going on, what you got going on, and didn't know what I had got going on, but I've always noticed that they will flirt with me on the sneak tip. And it's so crazy how the world has evolutionized for plus size girls or plus size women to be so comfortable in their skin when they used to be calling Raven fat, and Raven wasn't even fat. Let's talk about it. I was in the 4th or 5th grade, and I was about 112 in like the 4th or 5th grade. And I could just remember that being like, now if I was 112, oh, Carrie. But back then I was plus size for my age, and I remember wanting to be the size of Raven Simone, like the style, the size. She was like the embodiment of perfect size and style. From the hair, from the clothes, just all of it was beautiful. So that's just like a main point I want to make. I know that social media has made a difference, but in terms of encouraging plus size, encouraging women who are that, because being plus size when I was younger, I felt like people saw my size before they saw who I was. And a lot of the time that sucks because it's like, dang, these are cool people and they would think I'm so funny and so cool, but they can't see past what they expect a boy to like, or even for a boy to be so worried about trying to be in my pants that he can't be my friend because I'm fat, which is something else I've noticed becoming into a woman and just becoming an adult and being an adult, that I cannot be friends with men, and that sucks for y'all. Like, not for me, but for y'all. But we're gonna stay on one topic at a time. So yeah, growing up, I would be in the house or I'll be in family-oriented settings. So, a lot of my family is my friends. And I love that has come to it, because now that I've become older and just growing. So we're going to go step by step. I was around middle school. Not 2003 to 2008, but, just... sorry. Just that stage. I was from elementary going into middle school. Now, going into middle school, that's honestly where it really started. Like, I would talk to boys and everything like that, but it's just, how you get older and you be like, damn, they was really playing in my face. That wasn't for real. And it's crazy because they always come back around, and I just think that life is always an aha moment. And a lot of the stuff that we go through as kids does determine how we come out as adults. Which is so crazy. Alright. Let's get into the way I talk, speak, the vibes. I was born in Newark, and I would like to just sum it up and say that I've lived all over North Jersey. I've lived in Roselle, Linden, Hillside, Union, and then Irvington growing up. Like, Irvington, I was in for the longest from 4th grade until college. And even in college, I still lived in Irvington, but I went to live on campus. Growing up in a household, being the only female had its pros and cons, like I was stating, because it was in the pros in certain ways of, my mom having that wall up for me to not go to other people's houses, and having that protection of an older brother. But cons, as far as, And I just think this is an African American household. Girls are treated way different from the boys, and there's this type of love that mothers have for their sons that isn't shed light on for the females. And I don't know if it's because our mothers haven't gone through past traumas that they see exuding within us, because I think this day and age and these generations, we were like the last generation before chaotic behavior started. So as far as cons, it's like the mom treated the son with more delicacy or with more trust. And this could just be in my situation, but if you relate, you relate. My mom felt as though my father not being there had to give her that extra oomph towards the boys, and I see in the sense that it makes sense that there's a female here, you have a female example, and I'm here with you. But I think parents lose that sight of actually being there, having bills paid and having food in the refrigerator, and just look at me thinking a pretty good fridge. That's crazy. Just those basic things are things that a parent should do. So I think making your child feel like those are things that you are hassling to get is crazy, and it's just not a good viewpoint for a child, because then they feel like a burden. And I feel like that's also something that shaped me. I think that shapes a lot of African American women. We become to feel like burdens, so that when we get older, that independent thing is kicking in like crazy. But yeah, my mother was a single mother for a long time. I would like to consider us a middle class family. We always had a roof over our head, shoes on our feet, clothes on our back. But the areas weren't always the best. But there was never a time or situation where it was just like crazy, reoccurring situations happening around us. I always felt different growing up because of the certain situations that I had to go through with my mom, my parents having a stepfather, and the relationship that they had. Always felt like I had to grow up a little faster than kids my age, as well as just, always getting antagonized for certain shit. Just bullying, plus, being back home and growing up, being younger. A lot of people put their business out there, but growing up, it was like whatever's happening in the house stays in the house, and that's just that. Social media has placed y'all into a frenzy where y'all gotta tell all your business. And yes, it's cool to be vulnerable, and that's what I'm trying to currently do. But it's okay for your business to be your business, because a lot of things people will tear you down for, and maybe the same thing probably happened to them, but since you don't know that, they're gonna take that as a reason to do. Because people's actions are based off their insecurities. And that's something that I had to learn growing up. People throw so much on you because they feel like you're already in a place to receive what they're carrying. And that's not the case. I'm carrying my burdens, but it's the way I'm carrying it that makes you think that I'm superwoman. That was a word. I hate that. I need to stop hitting you. But I hate that. Anyway, so from middle school, I want to say to high school, still didn't go out much. I was always in the house, but now that I'm older, I love it, because I've had so many skills that I have developed being in my own space and in my alone time, and I don't think I ever missed out on nothing. Like, I know being younger, a lot of people did like sneaky stuff, sneaking out, partying. I just feel like I wasn't missing out. I wasn't, because now that I'm an adult, I can do those things freely. You understand what I'm saying? And I enjoy it as an adult. A lot of people my age, I'm 24, and I think that in high school, people were doing most of the things that I started doing in college. Like, I got lit in college. Like, high school and all that stuff, it was like family outings and volunteer work, or like working for my stepfather within the community. It was just certain aspects. I grew up as a child. I grew up my age. That's the easiest way I can put it. So now that I'm an adult and I'm experiencing so much, I think it's so fun, and I think a lot of people have read out that course. And so where now social media has taken this frenzy of, it's making y'all bored, and it's making people copy another when in all reality it just needs to be some type of seclusion within yourself and being yourself. Because I think everybody on this earth has a purpose, and regardless if you think you're talented or not, you were here for a reason. Whether it's to have a conversation with so and so that they can do whatever that they need to do done, but I think everybody has a purpose. And a lot of people don't realize it because they're so caught up social media on somebody else's wave and trying to do what another person does. And I think that if everybody would take a break and just step back and reevaluate. So something that I, as a child, never wanted to do was be late, because my mom was always late. When I tell you everything we went to, we were late, and I hated it. We succumbed to not want to become like our parents, but then wind up becoming just like them in certain ways, because not to work. Now that's something my mom was always late to. Sorry, Mom. She's always late to work. I do not like to be late to work. I'm never late to work, rarely. And then the days I am late, it's like an extension, like I'm 15 minutes late, but I'm never late. So I just think that trying to break those barriers and become different because you know you are and you know you can, and you've been through shit that nobody else has. Nobody has ever been through the same thing to the exact T. And if you were, that's just an even better reason to know that people are out there like you and that people can surface, like can survive above ground. I kind of went off a little, but I think we're doing great. This is for the girls who are becoming women, for women discovering herself and nurturing the little girl inside. We grow, but somehow still get knocked down. Our childhood shapes us, but that mold is always giving grace to dynamically change form. So let us exceed those expectations and sow our soul purpose. My name is Bree, Anna, Breezy, however you would like to call me, just as long as it's respect. And this is a clipping of the new Life as We Know podcast. I'm here just to be authentically me, to talk to the girls that get it, and for us to grow, for us to have God in our life, and to know that purpose is not purpose without drive and vision, and knowing that you are capable, because we are capable.